All right, guys, you're back with Tom and Mark, TCG&Whiskey. We're going to be talking UFC 263. What a card we got going on. But first, let's just give a quick thanks to our sponsor. We got Tampa Bless, home of Team Do Good, TampaBless.com for more information on that one, guys. Once again, check out that site. All right, so we got, wow, what a crazy card. Amazing card.
Oh, yeah.
We got the middleweight title bout. Israel Adesanya, he's 20-1. He's only 31 years old. Right now, he's a heavy favorite at minus 250 on DraftKings. He's going up against Marvin Vettori, who's ranked number 3. He's 27 years old. He's plus 200 right now. So, Adesanya's coming off his first loss in the UFC to Juan Blachowicz, but that was at light heavyweight. So, he's back down to his regular middleweight where he's undefeated, and he's going up against streaking 5-fight win streaks, and the last loss was against Adesanya, so this is a rematch in a way, and it was a split decision the first time. It was a good fight. It was a close fight. We're getting 5 rounds title shot this time, so it'll be a little bit different. Where do you see this one going? I know there's a lot of action going to happen in this fight. We're hoping for a lot of action. What do you see happening, Tom?
Oh, my goodness. First off, thanks for having me back, Marky. This card is on fire. This is going to be capping off my birthday as well, so it's a birthday treat for me, my friend.
Yes, it is.
Israel Adesanya, 31 years old. Marvin Vettori, 27. Israel out of New Zealand, but Nigerian-born. Marvin, Italian-born. Israel 6'3", 21-0 is his record. UFC, he's 9-1. He's got the kickboxing and the purple belt in BJJ background as far as skill set. He's been in the UFC since 2018. He's a pro since 2012. He's coming off a unanimous decision loss to Jan at light heavyweight and his first loss in MMA. 20 straight wins before that. On the other side, 6 feet tall, 3 inches shorter, Marvin Vettori, 17-4-1, UFC 7-2-1. He's a brown belt in BJJ, UFC since 2016, pro since 2012. So they've both been pro the same amount of time, but Vettori's been 2 years longer in the UFC. His one loss recently was that in a split decision to Stylebender, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
He's coming off a unanimous decision win against Kevin Holland and his 5th win in a row. He's looking to be the first ever Italian UFC champion, and he's also never been finished, and neither has Adesanya. My question for this one is really, how does Adesanya react after experiencing his first loss in his MMA career? It's not his first loss ever. He's had a loss in kickboxing before, but in MMA, it's his first loss, and it's also his most recent fight. It's a live audience. It's going to be off the chain. Arizona, Glendale, Arizona. These guys are going to be fired up. Marvin is going to want to do it for history. He's not going to give up very easily. Adesanya is going to really have to put it in. I'm hoping that this is a throwdown and not what we saw when Stylebender met up with Yoel. I don't know exactly how it's going to go. I hope it goes in a throwdown. My prediction, though, man, I tell you, this one I really did labor over. I don't feel strongly either way, but my pick is going to be Israel by decision.
Israel by decision. All right, well, and just a quick story on Marvin Vettori. I was at one of his very first fights in Vegas. He was fighting under, I believe it was Cyber versus Holm. And my friends and I, we are gamblers, and we all had money. I forget who he was facing. We had money on the opposite side. I think Marvin was the dog at the time. And Marvin comes out to the Godfather, and we all switched sides. We all took Marvin, and he actually wound up winning. It was a good day. It was pretty fun. So, you know, that walkout music plays effects on people. But as far as it goes, Israel's rookie card, the guy's a buy. He's already at $500 plus per card. It was very rare, not heavily printed. Adesanya's a buy, win, loss, or draw on this one. He's a stud. He's got a huge following, like you said. He fights out of Nigeria. He's got a following. He's over in New Zealand now. So he's worldwide. He's an international star. Now Marvin is a rookie card this year. I got a hold on him right now. I think they're super undervalued at this time. If you don't have any, I do feel it's a good time to buy. He could be the champ. As far as who's going to win the fight, I would put my money on Adesanya, but I'm picking Vettori in an upset. I think we go 5 rounds. I think Vettori gets him to the ground. I'm not going to say I think he keeps him to the ground, but I think he puts him there long enough to come away with a decision victory, my friend.
I like it. I like it. I just wanted to double down on, not really double down, but just a reminder to anybody listening that Vettori, even though we stated it, is only 27 years old. He's actually 4 years the junior of Israel, who's 31.
No, that's awesome.
I just always forget how young Marvin is.
And how he's a monster.
Oh, yeah.
He's a monster. All right, let's move it right on. We got another great fight here, another title fight. We got the flyweight title bout. Deiveson Figueiredo, who's 21-1. He's 33 years old. Right now, he's a heavy favorite at -230. He's coming off a draw from Moreno, who he's rematching. But before that, he was on a 5-fight win streak. I think Jusamiga is the last guy to beat him. I'm forgetting his exact name. And then he's going up against Brandon Moreno, who's ranked #1. So we got the right fight here. Who's 18-5-2. He's also only 27 years old. He's plus 185 right now. He's won 4 out of his last 6, with both others being draws. So he hasn't had a loss in a while either, with a couple draws. Now, just to be said, he would have lost that fight technically if Figueiredo didn't get a point deducted. I believe he got eye pokes. So he got a point deducted, and that gave us the draw. Now this fight, if it's anything like the first one, we're in for another banger. These guys throw down serious power out of Figueiredo's hands. Moreno does not go down, and he throws back. He wants to punish him too. How do you see this one playing out?
Oh, yeah. This is a lot of potential, like you just said, for fireworks. These are the type of guys who, unlike most other fighters, if they have a decision, it could still be a very exciting fight because they could actually go at it for 5 rounds. You got Deiveson Figueiredo, who I call Figgy, on the one side, the Brazilian. The other side, you have the Mexican Brandon Moreno. Brandon, as you mentioned, was 27, Figgy 33. Figgy's 5'4", his height. Moreno 5'6" is his height. Figueiredo 21-1 overall. In the UFC, he's 9-1-1. On the other side, Brandon Moreno 18-5-2. UFC 7-2-2. Deiveson Figueiredo coming off a majority draw to Moreno, as mentioned. He's a black belt in BJJ. He's never been finished. He's UFC since 2017 and a pro since 2012. The other side, Brandon Moreno, black belt in BJJ also. Never been finished either. All losses via decision. UFC since 2016, pro since 2011. Who's my pick? I'm going to go with Figgy here via strikes, round 3.
Okay. I think we're pretty much on the same page on that one. I think Fig's got the power to get it done this time, once and for all. I also think when he does, it will take Moreno a little while to circle back into the contention because that division's pretty deep now. It wasn't always, but now it's pretty deep. I'm taking Figueiredo round 3 also by strikes. I'm thinking the power is going to weigh on Moreno, and he'll get it done. He's going to swing a little harder this time. I think he's going to empty the gas tank a little more this time. And he knows that Moreno can hang around, so I think he's going to really go for it. As far as Figueiredo's rookie cards were printed in 2019, Knockout and Museum. Nice pickup for anyone's personal collection. I got a buy on them. Moreno's young guy. He just came out as a rookie this year. I have a sell on him. I think it may be a little while before he gains value and gains some more traction. Unless we see a major upset, I don't see it happening, but you just never know. Now let's move it on. We have another amazing fight coming up here. Potentially a lot of people's favorite fight of the card. We got a welterweight 5-round non-title shot here. So a little rare. We got Leon Edwards, who's ranked number 3. He's 29 years old. He's minus 560 favorite. Huge amount of favoritism there. He's going up against Nate Diaz, who's unranked. He's 20-12. He's age 36. He's plus 400. And Leon's coming off of a no contest to Bilal. But before that, he was on an 8-fight win streak. And Diaz is 1 out of his last 3, with Jorge and Connor being the last 2 losses for him. How do you see this one going? I know this might be your favorite fight of the card here. Big Diaz fan over there. What do you see happening here?
Oh, yeah. Love the Diaz brothers, but I have a lot of respect for Leon Edwards, and it's been growing. I didn't really care for Leon as much earlier on in his career, but he keeps getting better and proving himself. I mean, you really can't do anything but respect his game. And if you just look at his physique, he's looking more and more jacked. The dude is getting just more diesel. When I looked at him against Bilal, I was like, whoa, this guy is getting pretty carved up, man. Plus sizable. Before, he just was a little thinner. He's looking beefier now, but still ripped. Nate Diaz on the other side, you know, he's got that kangaroo, just straight up ripped up look. You know how he is, but thin. Funny enough, Leon's actually 6'2". They have him listed, and Nate is listed at 6 feet even. Leon actually having 2 inches taller, even though he doesn't really appear that way by looking at them because Nate's so thin. So Leon Edwards on the one side, British but Jamaican born. Nate Diaz, the American, on the other. Nate's 36, Leon's 29. Leon is 18-3 with 1 no contest.
Right.
No contest. In the UFC, he's 10-2 with 1 no contest. On the other side, you have Nate Diaz, 21-12. In the UFC, he's 15-10. Nate, however, although we said he's 2 inches shorter, he does have a 2-inch reach advantage. He has longer arms. Leon Edwards is a kickboxing background. He also has a purple belt in BJJ. Nate is a second-degree black belt in BJJ. Leon's been in the UFC since 2014, a pro since 2011. Nate, UFC since 2007, pro since 2004. His first appearance at WEC 12.
He's been around.
Nate's been around since 2007. One of the longer people you'll find in the UFC still active. Leon coming off a no contest accidental eye poke against Bilal. He was controlling the fight up to that point. It was called a no contest, though. It was an accidental eye poke. Kind of brutal, actually, if you saw it.
Yeah. Right.
Leon's never been finished. On the other side, Nate is coming off a TKO doctor stoppage as well, but it was a loss to Jorge Masvidal in November 2019 for that BMF. Belt was on the line right there. Now, November 2019, that's about 1.5 years since he's had a fight, Nate. So it's been a bit of a while since he's gotten in the ring there. Who to pick? Obviously, they're saying Leon's a big favorite, and it's hard to really blame them based on the people that he's defeated. I, however, big Diaz fan, and know that Nate Diaz is never an easy fight. If you look at his record, no one got off easy fighting Nate, even when they won. He takes you to deep waters. This is a 5-round match. Nate had it made special for him. Why? Because he thrives in those longer championship rounds. Where do I see it? I'm going with the underdog, Nate Diaz. Round 5, submits Leon Edwards. Shocks the world and might get a title fight after that.
Yeah. All right, well, we're not seeing this one the same way. I think Leon just does his thing. I think he steamrolls Diaz. I do think it's going to be a decision, though. 5-round decision. Like, nobody chumps the Diaz brothers. It just does not happen. I agree with you on that. I doubt he'll be able to sub Edwards, though. He's so strong right now. Like you mentioned, his physique and how good he looks. He comes to fight every time now. He looks incredible. Right now, I believe, though, Leon's card, Leon is a must-buy. His cards are very rare. He's been quiet for so long. He's too young. He's too good. for that to last. I'm sure he's going to gain popularity. I'm sure with a win, also he challenges for the belt, possibly with different results in the rematch this time when he goes up against Usman. He looks to be about the same size as Usman this time around. He doesn't look, like you said, he was kind of a skinny kid the first time around. Usman's a decent amount older and just looked the part when they first fought. So I got a heavy buy on Leon just because he's so rare too. Just how quiet, how subdued he's been coming up the rankings. And Nate Diaz, just always a fan favorite. I don't believe he's going to ever challenge for the belt, in my opinion, and therefore I don't truly feel his cards will ever get that high premium that you want from some of these mega guys now. And I feel it's the perfect time to sell because he does have a little premium under his belt. He's in the limelight again, and take advantage of it, in my opinion, as far as his cards go. Now we're going to move on. We get another amazing welterweight bout coming up. We got legendary Damian Maya, ranked number 9. He's 28-10. He's 43 years old. He's a plus 180 favorite right now. He's coming off a loss to Gilbert Burns. He's going up against Belal Muhammad, who's ranked 12th. He's 18-3 with 1 no contest. He's only 32 years old. Only 32. These other guys are all like 27 and stuff. We're talking about a 43-year-old. He's the big favorite. He's minus 230. He's coming off that no contest to Leon Edwards through that eye poke. Before that, he was on a 4-fight win streak, looking very good every time he steps in there too. He's not playing around. He's on the broadcasting desk. That helps some of these guys. They get to see a lot more fights and techniques and train with new guys when they're on that. So we'll see if that really does help them. How do you see this one going? Does the legend Damian Maya pick off another one of these young bucks? Or does Shrieking Belal come in and finish him off?
All right, you got Damian Maya, the Brazilian, 43 years old. On one side, he's 6'1" is his listed height. On the other side, Belal Muhammad, 32. He's 5'9" is his listed height. So there's about a 4-inch height advantage there. Damian Maya, 28-10. In the UFC, he's 22-10. He debuted at UFC 77, October 2007. Nate Diaz debuted in June 2007, a few months before him. They've both been around, one of the longer couple of people that the UFC still has active, and they're both on this card. He's been the UFC since 2007, as I just noted, but he has been a pro since 2001. 20 years still in the game. That is not often seen, to still be actually getting main card fights in the UFC with 20 years deep as a pro. He's coming off a TKO by punches lost to Gilbert Burns in March 2020, so a little over a year ago. He's a 5th-degree black belt in BJJ. Nate's a 2nd degree. That just shows you the level that Damian Maya has. He's 3 degrees higher than Nate. Belal Muhammad, I think when you mentioned about being at the desk with some of the post-fight commentary and whatnot, I also think not only does it give you an education, but it also gives you a confidence boost that they thought you were worthy to be there with those people. So it ups your level of confidence. And I think that plays a big role as well. He's 18-3 with 1 no contest. UFC, he's 9-3 with 1 no contest. UFC since 2016, but a pro since 2012. Okay. Purple belt in BJJ, coming off doctor stoppage, no contest to Leon Edwards, as we just mentioned. He's never been submitted. It's worth noting as well. He's had over 20 fights. My pick, the question to me really is, can Maya avoid getting tagged and get it to the ground? I'm not sure, but I'm going to say yes, he does get it to the ground, and he wins via submission round 2. Damian Maya submits. The first submission loss that Belal Muhammad will have, if that's the case, round 2. The old man does it.
Wow. Yeah, you know, I tend to agree with you on this one. I wouldn't put my money on this one, I could tell you that. But I'm taking Maya for the upset. Belal loves to take guys to the ground. He loves to wrestle himself. And all he has to do is make one mistake and even put him in guard. And like you said, he's 5th degree black belt. Maya doesn't make mistakes when he's on the ground. And I got him submission, but I think it's going to be round 3 because Bilal is energetic and has so much energy. I think first couple rounds, a little bit dry in the first round, everything. It's going to be a little tough. I don't think he's going to go to the ground and test, but he might in the later rounds. And I think Maya can hang in there. I think his chin had time to recover. I think Burns has hands of steel, and that's why he put him down. Otherwise, Maya normally hangs in there pretty well. I mean, he's definitely getting older and a little chinnier, but I'm taking Maya. Submission also. Get the sneaky submission.
I like it.
And now, as far as their cards go, Maya, 43 years old, legend, been around forever, and at the highest level forever. I mean, look at his record, just the last guys he's been fighting. And I don't have a buy on him and some other legends simply because the UFC is getting big now. And I don't know if he's ever going to get the fanfare needed to drive his card prices higher. I keep a couple for the personal collection, but I have a sell on him simply because of that, not because of his skill set. It's just his popularity from the early days versus these guys coming up now where the UFC is on ESPN and 10 times the size when me and you started watching back in the day. And Bilal, we'll see. I got a hold on Bilal. I think he'll have a good career, but I'm not sure if it's going to be right now. I don't know if it's time. I got my attention.
And just to mention, I mean, Bilal is still a threat on the ground and pound. It's not like he's not, but that situation favors Maya, in our opinion.
Correct.
My opinion and yours based on what you just said.
Correct. That's what I think he might go for, and that could be a costly mistake when you're fighting Maya, where he wants to be there, whether he's on the ground, on bottom or top. He wants to be on the ground. He's just that good. He's that crafty. And now we got another fight here. We're going to cover the entire main card. We got a light heavyweight bout. I'm very excited for this one. Paul Craig is just fun when he gets in the octagon. He leaves it out there. He is ranked number 14. He's 14-4-1. He's 33 years old. And he's plus 225. He's on a 2-fight win streak and a draw. So then he's going up against Jamal Hill, who's ranked 15th, who's 8-0. He's 30 years old, and he's a minus 285 favorite right now. Obviously, he's undefeated. But Paul Craig, he's a big boy, and he does mean things to people. How do you see this one playing out?
This was a really tough matchup for me to try to decide which way to go. I don't feel very confident about it, but let's look at it. You have the Scottish Paul Craig, 33 years old. He's 6 feet 2 inches tall. He's 14-4-1, as you mentioned, but he's 6-4-1 in the UFC. He's been in the UFC since 2016, pro since 2013. He's a brown belt in BJJ, kickboxing background as well. He won 2 in a row and coming off a TKO by strikes win over Shogun Hua. On the other side, you got Jamal Hill, the American, 30 years old, 6'3". In height, he's 1 inch taller, but he has a 3-inch reach advantage. He's 8-0-0 with 1 no contest, 2-0 in the UFC with 1 no contest. His no contest was actually a win by TKO, but Hill popped for marijuana. So that was overturned and made a no contest. He's been in the UFC since 2020. He's a blue belt in BJJ. He's undefeated. He's coming off a TKO by punches win over OSP in December 2020. It was a catchweight bout because OSP missed weight. It was put at the weight of 207.5 catchweight, and then he beat OSP even though OSP missed weight. This one I was back and forth. I don't have as much history with Jamal Hill as I do with Paul Craig. So as a fan, I favor Paul Craig, just having seen him and rooted for him in the past. I like his style. He is the underdog, but I'm going to pick the underdog again. I'm going to go with Paul Craig, and I'm going to say by submission round 2. I think maybe Hill mounts him, and somehow, he pulls him into a guillotine or something and gets the sub.
He's a great ground guy, that's for sure. This one, I think the Bear Jew is going to take this one. He's underdog 2-1. I'm not sure why he would be an underdog at 2-1. I don't know if the bookies are seeing something we don't see. I'd like to put a little sprinkle on that one. Get a little positive money on my side. I think he has a lot of skills, a ton of power. He's a crafty veteran. I think he's going to do it standing up. I think he's going to do it by strikes in round number 1. So I think
Ooh, okay.
Jamal.
Okay.
I think they're going to stand and bang, and I don't think he's going to realize what kind of power Craig has in his hands. Now that doesn't say that I don't think Hill has a great career ahead of him, that he's good, but not everybody, almost everybody suffers a defeat somewhere to somebody they're not putting high enough up. And I think that's what they're doing to Paul Craig right here. And sometimes they can get in fighters' heads. Jamal Hill, though, his card is new to Prism. It's cheap. You got to speculate on it. You can pick them up for almost nothing. Prism's a beautiful set. I got a buy rating at this pricing. Paul Craig, exciting fighter every time, he said. He's not printed it this time, so we'll have to wait and see. He's a little older. I'm not sure if he's ever going to get up to that lightweight heavy title shot, but we'll see. I mean, I like to see him fight, so I hope he gets some more fights. So I'm taking the Bear Jew by strikes in round 1. He's going to catch them when they're both swinging. And that's going to do it for this card. Guys, thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate your time.
Live venue, kid.
Live venue. We'll be watching. See you guys soon.